questions about why we use metal studs and how we did it. So we thought it'd be a good idea to go ahead and show you guys the process. So come on in.
We've got all of our walls up already, but before we close this one up, we thought we'd give you a chance to see what it looks like on the inside. Now these are 2.5 inch metal studs, 20 gauge. They come in 20 and 25. The numbers go opposite of what you think. 25 is lighter, 20 is a little stronger. What I like about this is it's so easy to frame because you have all this curvature here, which is very tricky. So your measurements do not have to be exact. Let me grab a tape measure and I'll show you. So I got my layout. I went 12-inch centers. So I just marked it, went straight, straight, straight. Do the same on the bottom. Then you get your number, and all you have to do is fit inside these two pieces of track. So you want to take a measurement at the shorter side because that's as tall as it's going to be. I cut the piece. You just slide it into place. Obviously all this isn't here at the time. Then you screw it in. I'll show you the screws that I use. Now what I have here is a few of the components that we use. This is the track. It's just a straight piece. This goes on the top and on the bottom.
And where did you buy that from?
Now, only at Home Depot and Lowe's, they only sell the 3.5 inch. It's actually 3 5/8, and this is a 2.5. This we had to get from a drywall supply store. Okay, this is what we made most of our walls out of. This is the 2.5 track. This is the 2.5 stud. The stud curls in like that, and it has some pre-made holes in it. Goes on the bottom and top, and the studs fit right in, and then you just put a screw into it. And for even more strength, put a screw on both sides. Now here are some other components that we've used throughout the trailer. This is an 1.5 inch stud, basically 1.5 inch, and that once again you have to get from your drywall supply store. And this is a very handy.
Why did you use 1.5 inch stud?
Because some places where I didn't have to have a thicker wall, like to go around pipes and that, and wanted to save space, you can use this. Still fairly pretty strong, not quite as strong, but pretty strong. Now this is a very handy component here. This is called framing L. Sometimes it's called angle iron. This is a 20 gauge, nice and strong. This is really handy for if you're making like a bench or a wall, a soffit or something like that that goes both ways, because you can have your stud coming up from the bottom, and that caps it, and then you have another stud coming from your wall, and then it attaches there, and then you can screw them together, and it really makes it very strong. If you'll pan over here, I'll show you, it made the basis of this whole bench. This continues on into the bathroom, was the foundation for the bench and for the sink cabinet and everything. That just goes right through. Now as you can see right here, this framing L, you can invert it. I had very little room for my pipes to go through here. This is the 2.5 stud, so down here where the pipes were, you invert that framing L the other way, and it takes no room it uses up no room in your inside your studs. The process I used to get the track on here and to follow this curve was actually very simple. I just took like an overall measurement, got it on there. I took like a full piece, and then I just basically spanned across and seeing how far I could go to where it runs fairly straight. Obviously the tighter the turn, the smaller the measurements get. So I put a little mark where each straight part was, where I thought I could get away with cutting that. Now this is very important. Whenever you make a cut in it, you want to square it across. If you have one cut here and one cut here, it's going to turn the thing.
So you want the cut to be nice and straight.
The cuts to be straight, and that keeps your wall. All it takes, you have your squared across line. Now you'll have a series of these marked out where you needed them. All you have to do, cut that one, and then all you have to do is bend it however much you want. And what's great about this metal studs is that all you have to do is put that little drill hole in there, And you can use rivets on these. That way you're not running a screw up into your electric or your plumbing or whatever. It's just a little bitty rivet that holds it on. And we who all worked on Airstreams all know these things are built with rivets. So that's another thing.
But you did try to match up with some of the ribs where you could, right?
Yeah, and anywhere you can land on a rib, that's obviously even more strength, but it's not necessary. One more thing I like about these is whenever I go to hang this, if you get the right size rivet, you can rivet your wall boards on. And that pretty much matches your rivets on your skins. Just want to show you a couple extra tips. This is a handy tool right here. It's called a vice clamp. That basically holds it where you want it, and then you run your screw in, and you don't have to try and hold it in place while you're screwing it. Laser tool, as you can see, it puts a level line on and a vertical line on, and I found this really handy for putting on these walls, because once you establish like a square line, you can put that up and trace it all the way around. That's a little sample section just so you can see how quick and easy this is. I've already got one cut on there. I'm just going to go, it doesn't even have to be an exact science, just put every 3-4 inches, oops, square, not out of square. Then you just put your rivets in, hold it tight, slip your studs in, as you see I've done here, put a screw in. One more small note, whenever you put your screws in, try not to strip them out, just stop them whenever they stop. They'll hold better than if you strip them out, but they generally hold even if you do.
Thanks so much for watching. If you want to learn more, we'll be sharing a lot more videos here in the next couple of weeks. You can subscribe to our channel. As always, feel free to follow us on Instagram or Facebook and message us if you have any questions about our processes.